Welcome to the Empower Women in Menopause podcast with your girl, Trudy German. I'm an online personal trainer and wellness coach for women going through perimenopause. Over here, we talk about all things perimenopausal, menopausal, and postmenopausal, and how to thrive through this transition. We speak openly and candidly about what going through this change really consists of, the good, the bad, the ugly, and we also dismiss a lot of the myths or all the myths and talk about how this change affects you mentally, emotionally, physically, and professionally. So let's get into this week's episode.
Hello, gorgeous. How are you? No, it is not morning because I would have said good morning. It is midday on a gloomy, wet, rainy day in the 6, Toronto. How you doing? I am coming to you today to talk about 5 things you need to do to lose belly fat during perimenopause. And these are the 5 things that I do at 44, knocking on 45's door. Hey, to maintain my size 26-inch waist. Hey. I remember one time when I said to someone, my waist is 26-inch. She was like, girl, I don't think my waist has ever been a 26-inch. Now I'm going to tell you some of the reasons why having a smaller inch. So studies have shown that when you have circumference, when your waist, when the inches around your waist is 35 inches or more, you are at a higher risk of developing issues like heart attack, stroke, high blood pressure, diabetes. Now, I'm not saying everyone needs to be a size 24, size 25, size 26, size 27 waist, have that as the inches. I'm just saying that studies are showing that. And especially going through perimenopause, we are already at a higher risk of those things, Alzheimer's, dementia included. There's so many things that we are at higher risk of. So I'm like, losing the belly fat, keeping belly fat low is not just an aesthetic thing, because I think that's one of the reasons why most of you may want it. It's society has taught us that, having washboard abs, having a super flat stomach and a big booty is the way to go. And you also may think it looks aesthetically pleasing. I think the next reason is to maintain a flat stomach, to maintain abs, killer abs, or whatever you want to call them as you get older. It shows hard work, dedication, and let's be honest, society praises that. That's why we push hustle culture the way we do. But for me, it is also about a health issue, and don't get it twisted. Yes, I like my abs. Yes, I like my abs. But I'm going to tell you some of the things that I do, and when women work with me, that we definitely work on. And hey, if you are perimenopausal and you are looking to lose belly fat, definitely click the link. The next segment to my program, Thrive with Trudy during perimenopause, starts the end of January. You still have time to get in. Click the link below in Calendly to schedule your call so we can chat. So let's jump into this. Some of them I have kind of sort of discussed in other podcast episodes, but I could just kind of want to touch a little deeper on some of them here and tell you why I do them and why I incorporate them. Because I believe that I was the type of child, you tell me don't do something, I'm gonna do it. But if you give me the reason not to do it, then that makes a difference. So I think this is why I coach the way I coach. I love learning and I love teaching, because when you understand the why, I think, as I like to say, you're going to govern yourself accordingly, boo. So speaking of the child I have this scar on my right hand, and I'm 44, almost 45, and I've had this scar since I was about 8. I'll never forget, in Jamaica, I was playing in a pan that I had no business playing in, and I was told multiple times not to play in it, and I continued. And that I'm looking at the scar now. That thing cut me cut me so deep you could see my fat hanging out. So ever since then, I do not play in things. So I say that because I realize, had I been told it'll cut you, it'll hurt you, I would have stayed away. But I was just told not to. So once, kind of like you had to learn the hard way. But anyway, I just thought I'll throw that little story in. So 5 things to do to lose. 5 things to do to get rid of belly fat and keep it off during perimenopause. Drum roll. Crappy drum. Number 1, manage your stress level. And notice I said manage. I did not say do not stress. Why? Because that is actually impossible. You are going to experience stress. Heck, life is stressful. Paying the bills. Like, I can't believe we rush to be adults for this. I can't believe we rush to become adults to do what we want. Most of us ain't doing what we want because most of us don't want to pay those bills, all those bills every month. But as I mentioned before, life be lifing. You're stressed at work, parenting your parents, parenting your children. And I'm learning parenting your parents. No one prepared us for it because they do not listen. I am dealing with that right now. But manage your stress. Remember, I did another podcast where I spoke about cortisol level. Having a little bit of stress isn't a problem. We're always going to be stressed. We're always going to experience stress. The problem is how long we hold on to that stress. Because the longer we hold on to stress, that's going to keep our cortisol level high. When our cortisol level remains high, the receptors in our stomach is going to hold on to fat. It's telling our bodies to burn fat as opposed to when we are stressed, I said it the wrong way. When we are continuously stressed, when our cortisol level stays high, it's telling our bodies to store fat as opposed to burning fat. And we want to be doing things to burn fat, right? I don't know why I'm confusing them today. I probably need another cup of coffee. But I want you to, first of all, you got to figure out who and or what is stressing you. That's number 1. Is it work? Is it not having enough money? Is it your children? Is it your parents? Is it your spouse? Is it you stressing you? Because we also stress ourselves for no apparent reason. That's another thing, right? So identify your stress and then identify things that you can do when you start feeling stressed. For example, for myself, I have a corporate job. I have my side hustle. I create content. So I realize, and I go to the gym, and there's a personal life in there. So I have realized one of my biggest stressors is when I don't plan, when I don't spend time on the Sunday evening planning my week, planning the days and times I'm going to work out, if it's going to be workout at home, if it's going to be workout at the gym. When I don't plan and prepare my meals, when it's time to eat, it's like, oh crap, what am I going to eat? And then I'll order something. If I don't spend time after my corporate job, carving out how much hours I'm going to put into working on me, into socializing, into fun, into date nights. I just find for me, when I'm not organized, that's one of my stressors. And then my anxiety starts going up, my heart starts beating fast, and it's just like I can't function. So that's why for me, I make sure I start putting time away, if it's even on a Sunday night or getting up a little earlier Sunday morning before church, so I can actually plan, because I don't like how I feel when I'm stressed. Something else is when you're stressed, what do you do to relax you? For me, I picked up journaling. I actually enjoy it because I write as if I'm talking to someone. I'm being honest. Puzzles. I love puzzles. I love crossword puzzles. And I love reading. I love reading books. So I've been reading books. And maybe on Instagram, TikTok, I'll start sharing more of those. But you need an outlet. You need to identify what's stressing you. If you can't get rid of it, can't get rid of the job because you got bills to pay, just find out exactly what about it is stressing you. Is it because you need more help, you need more time? But identifying what is stressing you and how to manage it, and developing a plan that how to lower your stress levels around that, or how to manage the stress. Next one, if you've listened to some of my podcast episodes already, you know what I'm about to say next, right? You know some of these things that are coming. Get enough sleep, baby. I love seeing those memes on Instagram, TikTok, social media, where they're like, everything we hated as a child, being in the house, being spanked, going to and napping, we start enjoying as we get older. I don't know about you, but baby, at this stage, at 40 something, I am team sleep. I am not skipping sleep to go party. I am not skipping sleep to watch anything on TV, because everything now is on demand. I'm not skipping sleep for any reason. I'm gonna get my sleep, because as we've established before, when you don't get enough sleep, it's gonna throw your hormone balances out of whack. When that happens, you're gonna put on fat, you're gonna store fat as opposed to burning fat. Sleep is important. I tell my clients, aim to be in bed by 10:30 the latest. Your circadian rhythm needs it. Going to bed after midnight, you are going to miss some of the sleep patterns. And if you notice, sometimes when you go to bed after midnight and you sleep even for 7-8 hours, the next day you still wake up feeling crappy, you feeling lethargic. That is because you need to be going to bed earlier. The earlier you go to bed, the better quality sleep you're going to get. So you definitely need sleep so your muscles can build and repair muscles. You need sleep so the hormones that tell you you're full, the hormones that tell you you're hungry, it becomes balanced. You need sleep so your brain can function better, so you can have energy to work out. Remember, lack of sleep, studies are showing that lack of sleep leads to early onset of diabetes, Alzheimer's, and dementia. And forget about belly fat. I know you do not want those. I know you don't. I know you don't. You know you don't. So get your sleep, boo.
You're here because you're a woman currently going through perimenopause, right? You feel lost, confused, you're constantly tired, moody, anxious, and grumpy. You don't recognize yourself, but you want to feel vivacious. You want to feel energetic. You want to feel sexy and happy, right? You want to feel like yourself again. Well, if this is you and you're ready to start feeling like you again while going through perimenopause, then I am definitely here to help you with that. Let's schedule a free consultation and let's chat and see how I can help you. Just go ahead and check the description below and the link is there.
Lift weights. Baby, you know this was going to be on, you know this had to be there. And as I said, if you rock with me on social media, and if you're not following me, come on over, Train with Trudy. That's it on Instagram and YouTube. I lift weights. I lift weights 4 times a week. And that usually happens in the gym. Yes, when I work with clients, I have them working out at home for about 30 minutes. That is because that's where they are. That's where they are at. they don't want to be in the gym. I love working out in the gym because I love the gym. The gym is my playground. The energy I get when I step into the gym, the energy I get being in the gym, whether anyone else is there or not, seeing the weights, it's like I get a high off of it, right? Of course, lifting weights at this stage, it helps to build muscles. The more muscles you have, you will not look like Arnold Schwarzenegger, but the more muscles you have, the less fat cells you have, right? The next thing is the more muscles we have at this stage, it helps protect our joints on our bones. So if you experience joint pains like back pain, knee pain, usually the muscles around it need to be strengthened. Weights help with those. So the weights could be kettlebell, dumbbell, barbells, but it's using that resistance training 3 to 4 times a week. You can start out with 12 to 15 reps but eventually you want to get down to like 6 to 8 reps, right? So that's definitely something I do. I have my clients do, and something you should definitely be doing if your goal is to get rid of and keep belly fat off, because it is very important, not just for losing belly fat, but also for mental health, right? Lifting weights definitely help us and our well-being or emotional health. Next up, eat whole foods. Now, I say whole foods because I'm gonna be honest with you, I'm not a big advocate of organic food. I question the validity. I'm like, this is foreign. And I'm personally convinced everything gets pesticides. Some get more than the other. I like to say this. Listen, we really and truly don't know what we're eating. I'm being honest. That's why I'm like, bless the food, bless the hand that make it, and eat it. Only God can help us with it. So I try, and when I work with clients, I have them, I have us reduce and eliminate our processed foods. So what does that mean? I know I've done a few episodes about meals already, so please make sure you listen to them. So, of course, eating whole foods is important because it helps to stabilize our blood sugar, right? It also increases energy, makes it easier for us to build and maintain muscles. And when we're building muscles, the more muscles we have, the less fat, so we'll lose fat. It also decreases cravings, right? And definitely less stress on our adrenals, thyroid, and nervous system. And those things definitely help us with losing belly fat not losing, but getting rid of and keeping fat off our stomachs during perimenopause. You want to make sure that you're having lean protein. Lean protein is important because it keeps us full longer. It has a thermogenic effect. It helps, or when our body is digesting it, we're burning calories. You need lean protein to build muscles. As I mentioned a few minutes ago, building muscles. The more muscles you have, the less fat you're gonna have. And of course, when you get enough sleep, that helps to build muscles. You want lean protein. You want healthy fat because every cell is surrounded by fat. Fat gives you energy. Fat is good for your brain. Fat helps to keep you full, right? And you definitely want carbs. Carbs give you the fiber, but reduce your processed food, like lots of fried foods, soda or pop, fries, chips, things like those, the pizza, the cake. You want to reduce those. I'm not telling you to completely eradicate them, but try having them like 1 to 2 times a week as opposed to 1 to 2 times a day or every day. It is a bit of balance, and you'll find that once you start doing those things, your body becomes assimilated to not having them. So even when you have it, you're just like, I don't like this, because your body's like, what is this? I need out. I feel crappy, right? You want to make sure you're drinking enough water. Drink water and mind your business. I love to tell you to drink water, right? Some days I do drink a gallon of water. Some days I don't. The more active I am, the more water I'm going to drink. Not everyone needs a gallon of water. So if you have not been having water on a regular basis, please do not jump straight to a gallon of water. I sip my water throughout the day. When I'm working out in the gym, especially for leg days, lower body days, I can drink 2.5 liters of water easily. Then I come home, I'm sipping water throughout the day. Water is important because it helps to flush our system out. Water is important because it keeps us hydrated. Water is important because it does not, when you become dehydrated, you're stressing your adrenal, you're stressing your endocrine system. And remember, when you're stressed on any level, cortisol level stays high. When cortisol level stays high, it is you are telling your body, hey, we want to store fat as opposed to burning fat. So definitely drink water. As much as I know water is important, I know for a fact there are days I don't drink enough water. And that's sometimes because I look at the water and I'm just like, I don't want it. And it's not to be ungrateful, because I know there are some parts of the world where, there are people there don't have access to clean drinking water. And we do here in some countries. But it's just like, it has no taste, or I'm tired of the taste. So some things that I'll do throughout the day is I'll add fruits to it. I love adding lemon to my water. I love adding orange or tangerine to give it a bit of taste. Sometimes I add a little salt because of the electrolytes. Sometimes, recently I started adding just a little tip of honey, because I realized I need some sort of taste for me to keep going. And of course, something I do is make sure that I keep the water close to me, right? Out of sight, out of mind. So, and I drink room temperature water. I don't like bottled water. I just boil my water. I don't use the filter water, because what was happening was I would always forget to pick up another Brita filter. I'll do another post on the difference with cold water and warm water. They're both effective at different times, but I don't like cold water. So my water is room temperature, but sipping water definitely helps. And when you start doing all of these things, managing your stress level, getting enough sleep on a regular basis, not trying to catch up on sleep on the weekends, not only getting 3 hours of sleep Monday to Friday, then sleeping 8 hours on Saturday, 10 hours, or trying to do that's not going to work. It is about getting regular, good quality sleep. When you are lifting weights that are challenging 2 to 4 times a week, and I say challenging because I don't want you doing 20, 25 reps. That's not doing anything for you at this stage, boo-boo. I promise you, right? You need more stimulant. Your muscles need more stimulant than that to actually build the muscles, so you can turn the muscles into fat. And of course, eating clean, where you're eating when you're hungry. When you're not hungry, you don't eat. When you're full, you stop eating, right? And having half of your plate to be carbs, the healthy carbs, with the fiber, with the fruits, with the vegetables. The next quarter of it having lean protein, and the next quarter to have healthy fat. And once you start drinking more water, once you start doing those things, you won't even want processed sugar. So the processed sugar is a huge problem. And I know you're going to be like, but girl, I'm craving sugar around perimenopause. That's because of imbalances. And I'm going to do a podcast episode that's going to drop in 2024 talking about that. Because once you start doing all these other things, the 5 things, managing your stress, getting enough good quality sleep, lifting weights, eating more whole foods, drinking more water, what'll start happening is you won't even crave processed sugar. And that is a big component as to why a lot of us have belly fat, right? So, and I want you to look at all these 5 things as a puzzle, because what I find is some of you may be doing 1 or 2, and then you're like, I'm doing everything, but I'm not seeing the results. No, baby, no, girl, no boo. You're not doing everything. You're doing 1 or 2 out of 5. You're doing 3 out of 5. You're doing 4 out of 5. Or even if you're doing 5 out of 5, you're not doing them consistently. Remember, where we are, it's because of what we do consistently, not regularly. So remember, the results we have, whether it's the flat stomach, or the not so flat stomach, the inches on our stomach under 35 or over 35 inches, it's about the habits that we have, the things that we've chosen to do. And it is a choice, right? So please make sure you are incorporating those 5 things. I want you to look at those 5 things as a puzzle. Now, if you ever had to put a puzzle together, whether it is a 10-piece puzzle, whether it's 1,000-piece, if one piece of that puzzle is missing, it is incomplete. So you need all 5 of these things for you to get the results, and you need all 5 of them consistently, right? And when I mean consistently over 2 weeks, that's not enough, baby. I promise you. you have to be consistent with them at least 6 weeks. You'll start feeling the difference. You continue another 6 weeks. That's what, 12 weeks, 3 months. You start feeling the difference. And the reality is, for a lot of us, we in all honesty, in all honesty, we may need 6 months to a year of consistency to see the results we actually want. And I'm being honest. So if you're ready to see the results, if you are ready to do the work, if you are ready to stop saying you don't know what to do, or to stop saying I'm doing it all but I'm not seeing the results, go ahead and click the link below and come on over, schedule your call so you can join and be part of the program starting the end of January 2024. All right. I hope this has helped you, and go ahead and comment below any topics you would like me to talk about, any questions, because the purpose of these podcasts is to help you, is to address issues you may be having, and I want to help you whether you choose to work with me or not. Like, I want to help. So go ahead and definitely click below and comment and ask your questions, or slide in my DM over on the gram. All right. Thank you, gorgeous. I hope you enjoyed the episode, and as I've mentioned before, my goal is to empower women in menopause. And by you sharing this episode with other women, like share it on your stories, then you will definitely be helping me help other women. So go ahead and share it on your stories, and please, when you share it, don't forget to tag me at Train with Trudy. Until the next episode, have a fabulous one.